What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Ahead of his upcoming UFC title fight against Tom Aspinall this Saturday, Ciryl Gane shared his thoughts on the possibility of Alex Pereira moving up to the heavyweight division. Pereira, the current light heavyweight champion, has previously hinted at the idea of pursuing a third division title, a move that has sparked major discussions among fans and fighters alike. When asked whether Pereira could be a legitimate threat in the heavyweight division, Gane didn't hesitate to respond with confidence. He praised Pereira's evolution as a fighter and acknowledged the danger he could pose even among the biggest men in the sport. Yes, of course, Gane said. He's a huge striker with a background in kickboxing, and I believe he can do very well at heavyweight. I've seen how much he has improved, not just in skill, but also physically. His frame has filled out more and more over time, and he's clearly becoming a much bigger athlete. Because of that, I think he's absolutely capable of competing in the heavyweight division. Gane went on to express his respect for Pereira's adaptability and work ethic, noting how seamlessly the Brazilian has transitioned between divisions and managed to capture titles in both middleweight and light heavyweight categories. According to Gane, Pereira's striking power, composure, and experience make him a unique challenge for anyone at heavyweight. It would be really crazy if I win this fight and get the chance to face him again, Gane added, referencing their shared history and the potential for a future super fight. Pereira is the kind of fighter who brings excitement wherever he goes. If he decides to move up, it would shake up the entire division. Gane's comments highlight the growing anticipation surrounding Pereira's next move. With his proven knockout power and relentless drive for legacy, a transition to heavyweight could not only cement Pereira's place among the sport's greats, but also set up one of the most intriguing matchups in UFC history, a possible clash between two elite strikers in Ciryl Gane and Alex "Potent" Pereira. Before moving on to the next news, we have a quick request for you. We're always working to improve our content and truly value your support. If you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, it would mean a lot to us. That way, you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. In a lighthearted and humorous moment caught on video, former UFC champion Khabib Nurmagomedov playfully scolded his teammate and Bellator lightweight champion Usman Nurmagomedov for forgetting to bring him coffee. The clip quickly went viral among MMA fans, showcasing the close and comedic bond between the two Dagestani fighters. The exchange began when Usman walked in holding a cup of coffee, but only for himself. Spotting this, Khabib couldn't resist teasing his younger teammate. "I have a question for him," Khabib said, grinning as he pointed toward Usman. "Where is my coffee? Why do you only think about yourself?" His mock-serious tone instantly had everyone laughing. Usman, caught off guard, chuckled and tried to explain, but Khabib kept up the banter. "He never brings coffee for me," he continued jokingly. "Who is this coach of his? You think I don't deserve coffee?" The room filled with laughter as the atmosphere stayed light and friendly. Another team member jumped in to play along, assuring Khabib that one day Usman would make it up to him. "Never say never," he laughed. Usman smiled and responded, "One day, I'll bring you coffee." Khabib, always quick with a comeback, added with a smirk, "Find his car outside. That's why I think he's not here. Don't come inside. It's outside." The playful jab had everyone cracking up as Khabib continued pretending to be disappointed while clearly enjoying the moment. The exchange highlighted the warmth and humor that often define Khabib's leadership style within his team. Despite his legendary career and reputation as one of the most disciplined fighters in MMA history, Khabib is known for creating a family-like environment where laughter and respect go hand in hand. Moments like these show a lighter side of the Dagestani camp, a world where hard training and intense discipline are balanced by camaraderie and jokes among teammates. Whether inside the gym or out, Khabib's influence extends beyond fighting skills. He's a mentor who leads not only with intensity, but also with humor and humility. And as for the coffee, Usman might want to remember to bring an extra cup next time. Move on to another news. In a recent episode of the I Believe You May podcast, former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping shared his thoughts on Yair de Ridder's corner decision to stop the fight. Bisping praised the move, commending the coach for prioritizing the fighter's safety over pride and public perception. Some people might look at that moment and say he quit on the stool or that his coach quit for him, Bisping explained. Sure, it doesn't always look good when a big-name fighter in a main event doesn't come out for the next round, but sometimes that's the right call. Bisping went on to defend the decision, emphasizing that protecting a fighter from unnecessary damage should always come first. "He'll learn from this experience," Bisping continued. "I actually have a lot of respect for his coach because most coaches wouldn't do that. Many want their fighter to keep going, even when it's clear the fight is lost." According to Bisping, some coaches let ego or ambition get in the way, focusing more on their reputation than their athletes' well-being. "Some coaches live vicariously through their fighters," he said. "They want to be known as the guy who coached champions. experience, and sometimes that clouds their judgment. But in this case, Renier's coach said, "You know what? You're done. All that's going to happen now is you'll get beaten up for another 5 minutes." And that's the right mindset. Bisping applauded the courage it takes for a coach to make such a tough decision, noting that continuing could have had serious consequences. Maybe he gets finished brutally, or maybe he takes a beating so bad that he never mentally recovers from it. Either way, his coach saved him from that, and I respect that completely. He also took a moment to credit Brendan Allen for his impressive performance, acknowledging that the fight wasn't one-sided from the start. Fair play to his coach, and well done to Brendan Allen. Bisping concluded, "It was a tricky first round, and honestly, I thought Brendan might lose that fight. But he came through strong. Overall, I think the corner made a smart and responsible call, one that more teams should be willing to make when necessary." Move on to another news. UFC featherweight contender Arnold Allen recently shared a shocking story about being attacked while traveling for training in Montreal. The British fighter, known for his calm and composed personality inside and outside the octagon, revealed in a YouTube video that he was unexpectedly assaulted on the street, an incident that left him with visible bruises and caused concern among fans. Allen explained that the altercation occurred while he was in Montreal preparing for his next UFC appearance. According to his account, the attack was allegedly triggered by a language misunderstanding. "I'm in Montreal, currently training," Allen said. "I got beat up in the street because I wasn't speaking French. Yeah, got jumped for not using French. That's what the bruises are about. Don't worry about it." Despite the unsettling experience, Allen appeared in good spirits, smiling through the visible marks on his face and assuring fans that he was fine. His casual tone and quick transition back to talking about upcoming fights highlighted his resilience and professionalism. "I'm all good," he added, before shifting the conversation back to UFC events. Anyway, on to the card. There are some really good fights this weekend. Allen's ability to laugh off the incident and maintain focus on his training reflects the mental toughness that has defined his MMA career. Known for his discipline and sharp technical style, the British featherweight has steadily built a reputation as one of the most promising contenders in the division. The incident has sparked conversations among fans online, with many expressing support and admiration for how he handled the situation. While details surrounding the altercation remain limited, Allen's composure and sense of humor remind the MMA community why he's one of the sport's most respected professionals, both for his fighting skills and for his character outside the cage. Move on to another news. The MMA community has erupted with reactions after Bo Nickal's recent comments about Khamzat Chimaev. The rising UFC middleweight appeared on Pantid MMA Awaram with Ariel Helwani, where he discussed what he learned from the Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis. Nickal said the biggest takeaway from that fight was simple: wrestling works. "If you're in the UFC, you should know how to wrestle," he stated. When asked about the possibility of fighting Khamzat on the rumored UFC White House card, he responded modestly, "Maybe, I've got to win some fights first. He's the champ, he's #1, and I'm not even ranked yet. Let's see what happens." However, his attempt to clarify earlier statements about ragdolling Khamzat reignited fan backlash. Nickal explained that his previous comments were taken out of context. "All the things I said about ragdolling him were in reference to a wrestling match, freestyle or collegiate style, not an MMA fight," he clarified. "In a wrestling match, it's not close. I'm a 3-time NCAA champion, world champion. I've beaten the best wrestlers in the world. But in MMA, that's a different story. That would be a dogfight, an absolute war." Despite his explanation, many fans weren't buying it. Social media erupted with criticism, accusing Nickal of downplaying Chimaev's skills and backtracking after backlash. One fan wrote, "That doesn't sound like you were talking about wrestling, Bo. Khamzat would absolutely destroy you." Another added, "Maybe I'd give Bo a slight edge in collegiate wrestling, but in MMA, Chimaev mauls him, 95-5. Others mocked Nickal's comments by joking, "I'm going to start saying I can beat Bo Nickal in badminton." Fans also pointed out that the UFC often protects rising stars with favorable matchups, arguing that this isn't collegiate wrestling, it's MMA. The overall sentiment was clear. The community believes Nickal underestimated the gap between wrestling dominance and complete MMA proficiency. While Nickal insists he respects Chimaev and would love to face him someday, fans have turned his comments into one of the most heated MMA debates of the week. Move on to another news. UFC featherweight star Yair Rodriguez has undergone surgery on his left hand, according to a report from ESPN's Carlos Contreras Legaspi. The Mexican fighter, known for his explosive striking and creative fighting style, successfully completed the procedure on Tuesday and is now set to begin a recovery period that will sideline him for several months. Initial reports indicate that the surgery went smoothly, and Rodriguez is expected to be out of action for approximately 2 to 4 months before being cleared to resume full training. If recovery goes as planned, fans could see him return to competition around the spring of 2026. The news comes after a challenging period for Rodriguez, who has dealt with injuries in recent bouts, but has continued to maintain his position among the elite of the featherweight division. Known for his highlight reel finishes, including his legendary knockout of Chan Sung-young, Rodriguez remains one of the most dynamic and entertaining fighters in the UFC. While no details have been shared regarding how the injury occurred, sources close to Rodriguez suggest it was sustained during training. Despite the setback, the mood around his camp remains positive, with expectations that he will make a full recovery and return stronger than ever. Fans and fellow fighters have expressed their support across social media, wishing El Pantera a speedy recovery. Rodriguez's resilience and fighting spirit have long been trademarks of his career, and many are confident he'll come back ready to make another run at featherweight gold. As of now, no official opponent or timeline has been announced for his return, but with the division constantly evolving, Rodriguez's eventual comeback promises to add excitement to the stacked 145-pound roster. Move on to another news. Bo Nickal recently discussed Reinier de Ridder's performance following his loss to Brendan Allen at UFC Vancouver. Speaking on the Ariel Helwani show, Nickal shared his insights into what may have contributed to de Ridder's struggles inside the octagon. "That was rough," Nickal began. "For the first 7.5 minutes, he looked amazing, like a top-level, world championship caliber fighter. But after that, things seemed to go downhill, especially with his conditioning." Nickal noted that de Ridder's strong start showcased his elite skill set, but something clearly affected his endurance as the fight progressed. Nickal also mentioned he had heard about potential issues leading up to the bout. "I'd heard a few things before the fight, maybe a bad weight cut, maybe some illness, so I don't think one fight necessarily defines how good you are as a fighter." He emphasized that every athlete faces unique challenges, and an off night shouldn't overshadow a fighter's overall abilities. Reflecting on de Ridder's reaction, Nickal added, "I'm sure he was disappointed in his performance. It definitely wasn't his best showing. Overall, it was kind of a lackluster fight, but that's part of the sport. These things happen." Nickal acknowledged that factors like weight cutting, frequent competition, and physical tolls can all play a role in how a fighter performs. "He's had a big weight cut and fought several times over the past year," Nickal continued. "That kind of schedule can really affect a fighter's conditioning and performance. Sometimes the outcome just doesn't go your way, even when you've prepared hard." Nickal's comments highlight the unpredictable nature of mixed martial arts, where even top-tier athletes can have an off night. His balanced perspective underscores respect for de Ridder's skills and the understanding that every fighter faces moments of adversity in their career. Move on to another news. Brazilian UFC prospect João Silva has sparked controversy after publicly calling out Max Holloway for a fight at the upcoming UFC White House event. The bold challenge quickly caught the attention of fans and fighters alike, but Holloway didn't hold back in his response. The former featherweight champion mocked Silva, suggesting he was still knocked out from his recent loss to Diego Lopes. A jab referencing Silva's tough defeat earlier this year, Silva didn't take the comment lightly. In a fiery response posted on She Fights Instagram account, Silva fired back at Holloway, writing, "Said the guy who almost died getting knocked out by Topuria, and then fought for the BMF belt." His statement was a clear shot at Holloway's war with Ilia Topuria, highlighting how even elite fighters face brutal moments in the cage. The exchange has fueled growing speculation about whether Silva is trying to elevate his name by targeting one of the division's biggest stars. Known for his aggressive style and fearless personality, Silva has been steadily climbing the UFC rankings, and this verbal clash might be his way of staking a claim for a high-profile matchup. Holloway, meanwhile, remains one of the most respected and battle-tested veterans in the sport, with a legacy built on wars against the best featherweights of his era. While the likelihood of this fight materializing soon remains uncertain, the online back and forth has certainly added heat to the featherweight division. Silva's challenge shows his hunger to test himself against top competition, while Holloway's sharp retort proves he's not interested in giving an easy rise to a rising contender. As fans debate who would have the upper hand in a potential clash, one thing is certain: this rivalry, if it continues, could set the stage for an explosive showdown inside the octagon.